spostarmi. Non esiste di migliore partita che io.
A common mistake for teaching Commedia is that the art department and the drama department get really excited and they say, well, let's work together. We'll make the masks in art and we'll use them in the drama, meaning that we'll make our own Commedia masks. Even though this is a good idea of joining different departments together, it actually is not the best idea for the performance element, because if the student's actually making the mask, they are actually there with the clay and the paper mache and it takes quite a long time, so keeping up the enthusiasm is difficult. But when they actually get to put it on, after it's finished, when they put it on, they're actually wearing their creation, which actually has the opposite effect of, when you wear a mask, you're actually free of your inhibitions. One would hope that you do things from behind a mask that you wouldn't normally do. This is the common understanding of working with masks. So if a student is wearing their creation, they're actually opening up their soul. They're going, well, I made this and here I am, I'm wearing it. This is a reflection of me. So it actually has the opposite effect. If you actually had some students who made the masks and then gave them to the drama department, maybe this might be different, because the wearer takes no responsibility for what the mask looks like or what the artist actually decided to do. So I often recommend not to bring those two departments together. The researching of Commedia is not the best thing to send your students to do. I've actually seen drama teachers say, okay, we're going to do Commedia the first week, go off to the computers, go and find out what you can find out about Commedia. And of course they learn about the characters and they learn about the period and all those things. Whereas in actual fact what you're doing is filling their heads of information of what they should be doing. In other words, they're looking for tips and tricks and stuff of what they're going to do if they were going to perform. I'd say that this actually fills their mind with things that they don't need to know at this stage. My recommendation is you work with the masks first. Look at the mask face to face. Just take the mask and don't worry about the history. Put the mask on, look in the mirror, find out what that mask character is by improvisation and experimentation. Once the students have discovered the masks themselves, then they can go back to the history. So the research comes after the fact. Of course, the history is important, but I much prefer the students say, oh, so that's why I did that when I was wearing that mask, because in history it says that this is that type of character. Hey, I found that. I found that myself, by working and rehearsing with the mask. The assessment tasks. Most teachers will set improvisation as their assessment task because the common knowledge is that Commedia is an improvised art form. I think that this is a very, very difficult task to give your students. Even I myself, now with the experienced actors that I've been working with for 6 or so more years, I would find it very difficult if I was to give them an assessment task of saying, okay, pull a theme out of a hat and go away and rehearse for 5 minutes, come back and perform it. This takes a lifetime of experience to be able to pull this off successfully. So I actually try and discourage teachers from setting that kind of assessment task. I'd much prefer they say work on a theme and let them rehearse it and rehearse it and rehearse it. But then when they get to perform it, allow them to integrate some heckling from the audience or ad-libbing from the audience, and then let them jump back to their script. And then maybe back to ad-libbing with the audience. So the improvisation only takes place during their performance in relationship with their audience, their live audience. This is where Commedia really excels.